Welcome everyone. I'm Aditya Chopra. I'm a Vice President at Samagra and a program lead of the CMGGA program in Haryana. We're doing this video because we want to share with you what we've done as part of the pond rejuvenation exercise or intervention in the state under the mission Amrit Sarovar program. As part of this program, largely the idea has been to transform all significantly sized ponds in the state of Haryana for the purpose of water rejuvenation in villages, as well as providing an access point for community engagement in the state. So let's begin. Haryana regularly faces water crisis. There is no exclusive water source or such as a large river in the state, which provides water to all people in the state. So therefore, it is not only a livelihood issue, but over the years, it has also become a political issue where there's a lot of back and forth for sharing of water among different states in the neighborhood. Because of this reason, Haryana depends a lot on its ponds and rainfall for all its water needs. And in terms of scale, we have around 20,000 ponds in the state of Haryana, which helps cater to these needs. However, the challenge has been that around 60% or around 12,000 of these ponds have been reported to be contaminated or polluted. And this is as per a state survey conducted a few years ago. Contaminated water actually leads to poor ground recharge, which adds to the complication of water scarcity and water rejuvenation. Of these 12,000 ponds which are contaminated, around 2,000 were identified to be very large size and the most polluted. So from the visuals on the screen, you would be able to see what this actually looks like, and it's not a good state to be in at all for the people around these areas. So some examples from Faridabad, Karnal, Palwal, and Yamunanagar. One such pond is Jeevan Sagar Pond. This is located in Charkidadri district in Sanjarvas village. At the time of independence, this was a healthy and large water-filled pond. It was a lifeline of the village. गांव के सभी परिवार इस सरोवर पर निर्भर थे. वहां पे वो खेलते थे, नहाते थे, अपने पशुओं को पानी पिलाते थे और अपने घर के दिनचर्या के कामों के लिए भी वहां से पानी भर के जाते थे. आज इस पॉन्ड की हालत कुछ ऐसी है. ये हालत 2022 में इतनी खराब थी कि गांव वालों ने यहाँ पे कुछ भी करना छोड़ दिया था. ऐसे ही कुछ 50,000 पौंड को रिजुविनेट करने के लिए, दोबारा जिंदा करने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक मिशन अमृत सरोवर लॉन्च किया 2022 में. इस मिशन के अंतर्गत हरियाणा में हमने क्या काम किया, उस पे आज की प्रेजेंटेशन रखेंगे. दो टाइप के कामों पर हमने ध्यान दिया. एक स्टेट लेवल के काम एंड दूसरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाले काम. At the state level, we did 5 key things. There was a lot of focus on goal setting to clarify what the goal of the program is. A lot of money was required, of course, to make sure the engineering works of pond cleanliness, pond making, pond rejuvenation was done. So we unlocked budgets. A key stakeholder and a key department which came out as a functionary in this program was the Pond Authority. So we re-energized this authority. Multiple different departments had to be coordinated with to make sure that the ponds were actually delivered on time. And so we did a lot of state level coordination. And of course, just to make sure that there was accountability and speed with which all of the stakeholders were working, we did a lot of state level reviews. So let's begin one by one. So in terms of goal setting, as I mentioned, the Government of India launched the mission Amrit Sarovar in 2022. As part of that mission, Haryana had to rejuvenate around 1,600 ponds or Amrit Sarovars. We took a higher target than the Government of India mandate, and we said we'll rejuvenate the most polluted top 2,000 Amrit ponds to be Amrit Sarovars in the state. We went above and beyond, in fact, the Amrit concept as well, and the state was able to launch 2 different categories apart from Amrit. These were the Amrit Plus and Amrit Plus Plus categories. They were made to ensure that there was more usability and sustainability of pond rejuvenation. So as part of Amrit Plus, we took on the target of making 300 Amrit ponds to be Amrit Plus. And as part of Amrit Plus Plus, we took on the target of 125 Amrit Plus Plus ponds in the state. So what does Amrit Plus and Amrit Plus Plus mean? Amrit means that any pond, we have to make sure that there is dewatering happening, desilting happening, excavation, and then there are embankments made so that when there is rainfall, the pond can get filled with clean water, and it can be then used. As part of Amrit Plus, all of the Amrit activities are to take place, and in addition to that, there has to be a walkway along the perimeter of the pond. There have to be solar lights along this walkway, benches along this walkway, and plantation across different parts of the pond. As part of Amrit Plus Plus, we have to ensure all Amrit activities are done, as well as we have to make sure that there is auctioning happening of the pond for some income generating activities. These could be fishing, these could also be tourism related activities like boating. So this clarity was provided to all stakeholders in the state, which included all 22 districts, all 120 odd administrative blocks, and then around 10,000 plus villages. The second key thing that we had to do was to unlock budgets. So 300 crore plus of budget was unlocked. This budget unlocking had to happen through very technical processes where the engineering wings of multiple departments had to make estimates of what it would cost to rejuvenate some ponds, these ponds. Then they would prepare digital drawings of these estimates. Basis that, the pond authority with its agriculture scientists on board used to evaluate these plans and approve budgets. Then these budgets were transferred to the departments. Departments in turn transferred them to districts. Districts had to make sure that the budgets were utilized adequately and they were utilization certificates issued. And then they were sort of, loop was closed by sending them back to the pond authority to make sure that no funds were ill managed. So this activity also was part of our team's work. Then we also realized that there were multiple departments which were involved, but the key department which had to make sure that things happened was the pond authority. Now, pond authority had been formed some 4-5 years ago, but it had not really gotten into the groove of things in terms of driving action on the ground. So we made sure that there was SOPs made on how things were happening within the authority. We made sure that all the action happening on the pond authority side was visible on the PM's direct dashboard, so that there was accountability as well as visibility of their work. And we made sure that there were weekly reports provided from the pond authority to the CM office and to the districts to make sure that things were happening in coordination. And of course, there was also an element of showcasing the good work that the authority was doing. So we revamped their web portal as well, which was utilized by all districts from time to time to upload data on rejuvenated ponds. The fourth important thing we did was coordination among departments. So as you can see on the screen, the CM office was leading the charge in making sure that the Haryana government and Haryana state was working in line and in fact above and beyond the government of India's mandate. Pond authority directly had the mandate of making sure this happens, and they had to coordinate with at least 5 different departments, including Panchayati Raj, Rural Development, Urban Local Bodies, Fisheries, and HAREDA being the Department for Renewable Energy for solar lights. All of this coordination had to happen by the program team of CMGGs because this was a sort of daily coordination activity that was required, which was for role clarity, for goal clarity, for data collection, for budget estimates, a lot of different things. Last but not the least, we also ensured that a lot of state level reviews happened. So 30 plus state level reviews were conducted, which were data backed and solution oriented, action backed in the last 1 year. And some glimpses from those reviews, which were chaired by the CM, sometimes by the chief engineer, sometimes by the CM office over the last year. So in a nutshell, we did 5 different things: goal setting, budget unlocked of 300 plus crores, re-energized pond authority to make sure everything was working smoothly, and there was one anchor to drive the program. A lot of coordination among 6 different departments, and 30 plus state level reviews over the last 1 year. Similar to the work at state, district level work also was categorized into 5 different buckets. There was, of course, the module collection. So module creation. So one important aspect of this program has, and unique aspect of this program is that we have one Chief Minister's Good Governance Associate in every district of the state. Right. So 22 districts, so we have 22 different associates in each of those districts, and a 4-5 member program team which was managing this program from the state. This module creation happens by the program team in coordination with the department to make sure that the associates, the CMGGs in the districts, have absolute clarity on what activity they have to do, how that activity will change into outputs, and how that output will change into outcomes over time. Right? So this module creation activity was done for the CMGGs and the districts. There was pond level monitoring of all these 2,000 ponds to make sure that we knew exactly what was happening in each of those ponds. A lot of field visits happened over the course of the last 6-7 months to make sure that we validated what things were going well, and we were also able to point out what things were not going as well. Then, of course, there were district reviews, similar to what happened in the state. In fact, multiple more district reviews happened in each district. And we also ended up doing a lot of activities and interventions for momentum generation, because it tends to get slightly technical at some point. And so it was required that there was motivation across all levels to do this kind of a work through the year. So going one by one, module creation, as you can see on the screen, a very detailed document, very detailed trackers, Excel sheets, all possible documents that might be required for the CMGGs were provided. And weekly calls were conducted to make sure that the work was on track. Pond level monitoring was done. This was also done to ensure that there was decentralized and local level problem solving happening. Right? There's one level of problem solving that can happen at a center level, where conceptually things can be explained, but on the ground things can be very tricky. There could be some land issue, there could be some water clearance issue, there could be some issue with budgets, there could be some issue with the local panchayats, and they've been not being on board. There could be some issue with vacancies in the engineering wing of that block, uh, because of which things are getting delayed. So a lot of issues can crop up when it comes to implementation on the ground. And it was required that pond level monitoring and pond level problem solving was done to make sure that things were on track. 1,200 plus field visits were done, and this included field visits by the CMGGs, of course, in their districts. This included field visits by the program team from Chandigarh to these districts. And multiple different aspects came out in these field visits, which were then aggregated in forums, which we did every 2 months to make sure that all learnings which were being observed and experienced across different parts of the state, all of it came together. And in the forum, then everybody got knowledgeable about those issues so that they could solve, or in fact, sometimes preempt those issues coming up in their own districts as well. A lot of reviews happened. We wanted to make sure that the adequate importance and weight was given to these reviews. So deputy commissioner led or additional deputy commissioner led reviews happened. More than 100 of them happened in the state in the last 6-7 months. And this required that in these GC reviews, all possible departments, all these 5-6 departments were present. The CGJ was present, the engineering wing was present, accounting wing was present, and sometimes, in fact, even the panchayats representatives from them were also present if they had some issues that they wanted to raise at the higher level. And of course, a lot of momentum generation also was required, because this tended to become a very engineering heavy sort of dull task, right? So we awarded people who were doing good work across multiple places, and also got the chief minister to launch ponds which were sort of rejuvenated, which added to the momentum, added to the sort of I guess highlight that this program was getting at the state level. So in a nutshell, we did 5 different things, created modules for CMGGAs, pond level authority, monitoring for problem solving and reviews, field visits of more than 1,200 were happened, More than 100 DC reviews happened, and of course, felicitation of good performing ponds and district officers was done, in addition to the launches by the Honorable CM. In terms of timeline, so Mission Amrit Sarovar was launched in April 2022 across the country by the Prime Minister. In March 2023 is when the CMG, so almost 1 full year after it was launched, the CMG team got onboarded onto the program. Within 3 months, we had achieved all Amrit targets, which was dewatering, desilting, excavation, and embankment. In another month or so, we had launched the concepts of Amrit Plus and Amrit Plus Plus, which went above and beyond the Amrit concepts in terms of usability of those ponds and sustainability of those ponds. By November, we had achieved 100% of our Amrit Plus Plus targets, which was around making sure the Amrit activities were done on those ponds, as well as some income generating activity has started in those ponds. And by March 2024, we were also able to achieve 100% of our Amrit Plus targets, which was around creating walkways around the perimeter, solar lights, benches, and plantations along those walkways. For a target of 1600, we had taken it upon ourselves to do at least 2000, and we were able to complete 2100 Amrit ponds across Haryana for all these 4 activities. You can see a few glimpses of these ponds on your screen right now, from Nu, from Rohtak, from Kaithal, and from Sonipat. In terms of Amrit Plus, we had taken a target of 300. We were able to complete 305, and you can see a few glimpses from Ambala, Yamunanagar, Nu, Kurukshetra, and Fatehbad. And of course, Panchkula. In terms of Amrit Plus Plus, we were able to complete our target of 125. In fact, we were able to complete more than this in the mandated timeline. And this included having Amrit ponds plus fisheries or local tourism activities happening for income generation. Some of the examples you see on the screen are Kurukshetra, Hisar, and Ambala. So 100% plus targets have been met for all 3 categories of ponds that we had started off last year. To validate that the work done in these ponds was genuinely effective and it happened in the right spirit, 620 plus ponds were visited in 19 districts in the last 3 months alone, of which 325 Amrit, 270 Amrit Plus, and 31 Amrit Plus Plus ponds were visited. These visits happened across the state. We wanted to make sure that there was geographical distribution that happened across the state. And 100% of the validation has been done. The first level of questions were largely to check whether basics were done right. So activities like dewatering and desilting conducted during restoration, 98% said yes. Whether walkways, plantations, solar lights, etc. were done across your pond, 100% said yes. And whether auctioning had actually happened as it had been reported on paper, 100% again, responses were yes. The second level of so what this actually has impacted is how it has impacted is this has given a model of Sarovar sustainability to the country. There is of course been rejuvenation of 2100 plus Amrit Sarovars with enhanced aesthetic value. Water holding capacity of Amrit Sarovars has increased by around 1700 crore liters as surveyed by the Pond Authority. 600 plus community-led events happen around these Amrit Sarovars, which is an indication of how they have rejuvenated community activity also in the villages that they're located in. And panchayat income, especially for the Amrit Plus Plus ponds, has increased by over 14 crores for the next 7 years for about 100 villages where these ponds exist. Amrit Plus and Plus Plus validation also happened. We were able to visit around 300 plus of these ponds in 18 districts. and we got overwhelmingly good results. Has water holding capacity in the ponds increased? 90% said yes. Has rejuvenated ponds helped during flooding? 90% again said yes. Has your community members using the pond for recreation, uh, use for cattle, using for walks in the evening or morning? 99% in fact said yes. Is it accessible to all community members? Is it accessible to women, children, the elderly? 100% were responded to be yes answers. And has there been increase in panchayat income due to the Amrit plus pond categorization and work done under that? Again, 100% said yes. Let me show you some glimpses of the before and after of these ponds so that you get a real world sense also of what actually happened. So this is a before a photo of Sherla Tal in Panchkula, and then this is the after photo. This is a before photo of Samani pond in Kushetra, and while the work was ongoing. This is the after photo. The before photo of Bakarwal pond in Ambala. This is the after photo. The during photo of Mandhar pond in Yamunanagar. This is the after photo. This is the before photo of Khatiwas pond in Jhajjar. This is the after photo. The before photo of Malap pond in Nu. This is the after photo. This is Jeevan Sagar Sarovar before restoration, as we had spoken about. This is after restoration. Let's in fact hear from some of the people who live near this pond to share their experience of the rejuvenation of this pond.
हम गांव संगरोस के निवासी है जी।
हाँ बताइए बताइए।
गांव संगरोस के निवासी है। हमने मेरी लगभग 50 प्लस उम्र है जी। मैंने आज तक थोड़ी यहाँ कभी ऐसा नहीं देखा था। उससे पहले यहाँ पर गांव में पानी पिलाने के लिए आते थे, बहुत डर के हमारे जमींदार पानी पिलाते क्योंकि खाद वगैरह डागरक हो जाती थी जी। इसके बाद अब बहुत सी लग रही है। अभी पानी पिलाना हम जावा 2 घंटे उन्हें बैठ के नजारा लेते हैं जोड़ का। स्टूडेंट है वो भी नुका गए। अभी भाई स्टेडियम में काम चलता नहीं, आज यहाँ पे जोड़ को घूम के हमारे बच्चे भी जी। हमारे गांव के बड़े बुजुर्ग औरतें, आप सुबह कोई भी 6 बजे के लोकेशन आके देखो जी, 6 से 8 बजे तक यहाँ पर गांव के 50% बुजुर्ग आते हैं जी घूमने के लिए, यहाँ पर टहलने के लिए, बच्चे भी साथ जी। एक मेला से भरा हुआ होता है। मैं तो सरकार का और खासकर यहाँ बनाने वाला का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। हमारा गांव तो शान भूलना बोला जिनका कदे भी, क्योंकि हमारे गांव की गंदगी मेट थी जी में। बहुत अच्छा काम हुआ है जी, बहुत ही अच्छा।
Thank you. This is the story of Amrit Sarovar.